What is going on, everyone? This is your boy Tanveer Syed. It's time one. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button. And please do leave a comment in the comment section below, as I use all of these to actually keep myself motivated to continue making these videos. Not asking for much, but if you could get to perhaps maybe 195, 196 subscribers by the end of the year, or preferably that would be awesome if I could get a 200 subscribers at the end of the year. It'll be really amazing. Finally end 2020 up with at least some positive news. But anyways, this video is gonna talk about a series called Small Acts. It's on Amazon Prime, and since I have Amazon Prime and I've seen commercials about it, I said, you know what, why not? Lo and behold, I found out that it's actually a compilation of movies. I guess I'd call it movies by Stephen Mcqueen, and it's a British piece of work. Excuse me. Alright, I believe episode 1 was Mangrove, episode 2 was Lover's Rock, episode 3 was Red, White, and Blue, and episode 4, I didn't catch the name because they didn't bother to make the name that prominent on their title screen, so I didn't catch the name, but a good amount of them tend to be around events that happened in the UK. I would like to say between the 60s, within the 60s and the 80s, that 25-30 year period. Essentially, if you're putting it on a broader perspective, the latter half of the 20th century, or the you could say during the Brezhnev and eventually Gorbachev eras, if you're looking from a political standpoint. Okay, Mangrove. It was I believe it was about some riots in a restaurant. It's called Mangrove Restaurant and whatnot, and apparently they're still doing pretty well. And it's about police brutality. I thought Mangrove, actually, the story that was told was good, and the actors and the actresses in the movie were actually very good in terms of their performance. I mean, they put a lot of passion into their acting. And see, here's the thing. Passion and good acting, it's not someone shouting out their lines. It's also about context. It is also about the tone. And it is also about timing. Okay, so I thought that was pretty good. Lover's Rock was, I don't know what I was watching. I really don't know what I was watching. It seemed like an absolute waste of time. Absolute waste of people's time. And if these people got paid, if the actors and actresses got paid using the British taxpayers' money, absolute waste of taxpayers' money, because it told a nonsensical story. It was and it could have been called an eventful night out. Who wants to see that in a movie form? An interesting night out. It's something that you'd talk about with your friends. Okay. So, Lover's Rock, please, if you're watching it, if you're planning to watch it, don't. Because it doesn't tell a story. like yeah, some people went up to a party, and one person was she was almost raped. There was almost a fight. There was almost some violence. There was almost some stalking. But in the end, it all turned out good. Next, it was a long day. It was a long day, and next morning, the girl had to go to church, and that's where the movie abruptly ends. That's it. Okay, so it did not it did not have a purpose. It was a pointless movie. Okay, the third one, Red, White, and Blue. This is one that actually included John Boyega, and to an extent, I like this movie because it also told a pretty decent story. And John Boyega, he's a decent actor as it is. He's not decent. He's actually a pretty good actor as as it is. So, but apart from John Boyega, the other people did not compliment his acting to say, to put it lightly. And also, there's something else that's consistent throughout these four movies. I will get to that a little bit. And the fourth one, unnamed. I'm just gonna call it unnamed. But apparently, it's about it's about the story of the writer Alex Wheatle, who, lo and behold, moved to America to make his, to get a good living and make his money and whatnot. Lo and behold. Why do you think that is? Why do you think even people from the UK, most of them, they want to move to America, Scotland, Ireland, they want to move to America. They don't. But people from America, they, a lot of them, very few of them want to move to the UK. Why do you think that is? Anyways, well, that's actually a problem for the entirety of the British political system and economic system to figure out. That is an entirely separate video. Okay, and let's just say that the term GBP, Great British Pound, the G should be removed because the G is completely, in the modern day and age, the G does not hold any value whatsoever. At least when you consider in the context of, let's say, the G7 countries or even the G20 countries. Good lord, the countries outside the G7 that have more clout than the UK. Anyways, I'm sorry for the digression, but yes, chapter 4. It was also, there was a good story being told. Okay, and actually, I would say the best are chapters 1 and 4. Chapter 3 was also pretty, or episode 3, sorry, was actually pretty good, where John Boyega tries to actually change the police system from within, and even there finds a lot of resistance. So this is something that could have been made into a series, and I would have loved to seen it as a series. And even chapter 4, I would have loved to seen this as a series. Mangrove, where it ended, it was good. Lover's Rock shouldn't have existed. Red, White, and Blue, I want to see it as a series. And chapter 4, episode 4, I want to see it as a series. And I believe there's one more left that's coming out on December 18th. It comes out every Friday. Okay. The biggest problem with all four of these is Stephen Mcqueen. I'm sorry, if this, and pay attention, there's a very big condition here. If this is the type of movies and productions Stephen McQueen does, then Stephen McQueen does not know how to properly direct a movie. Okay. There is something in all four of these that is very common, or that is somewhat common in British movies. And one example is Green Street Hooligans. Green Street Hooligans. There always has to be a drunken bar scene where people are drinking and partying. Why do you need this scene in every movie? Okay, there are a lot of people who don't drink and who see that this is a waste of time. You're drinking and you're singing a random song. I'm like, okay, why do you need to see other people do this in a movie? And if you're going to pay for it in a theater, why do you need to pay money to see this? Okay, next. I mean, Red, White and Blue, it did a disservice to John Boyega. Especially when Stephen McQueen doesn't know how to tell the cameraman to point the camera in the right direction. Okay, or to hold the camera properly. Okay. There's one scene where, they're waiting around, and this is supposed to be a segue. The segue is just some random shots of trees with no leaves. Then there's another scene in Red, White, and Blue. Okay. John Boyega is angrily walking to his superior's office. Okay, because apparently he didn't get a promotion or something, or he got overlooked for promotion or something. The camera is pointing up at John Boyega's nostrils. It's as if the camera is placed at his belly button and they're pointing up at his nostrils. And John Boyega is walking down the hall. What kind of stupid, absolutely bonkers directing is that? Okay, another thing. Okay, you need to have more narration in this, okay? And the most important factor, okay, mood music. Okay, because this is something you'll see very prominently in good American shows. Not only American shows, good ones. Exhibit A, Boston Public. Go watch Boston Public. Okay? Whenever something serious goes on, they put a little bit of music in the background. And no, it doesn't have to be copyrighted. You just get a free version of FL Studio and just, make something up randomly. It's for free. So, Stephen McQueen, I'm sorry, I'm going to watch episode 5, but after this, I'm if I see Stephen McQueen's name, I'm like, you know what, this is going to be absolute horse garbage. Absolute horse poop. In terms of directing. Yeah, the documentary film, Mangrove and thing might have won. Bro, listen, it's the UK, man. Because see, once you've lived in a country like the UK and then lived in another country like the United States or whatnot, okay, you'll start to compare your experiences of the UK from the inside and the outside, and then you'll start to see, man, a lot of stuff that don't deserve it get awards these days. I mean, just look at the Game Awards. The Last of Us Part 2, it got so many game awards that even a lot of journalists, legitimate journalists, are saying are indicating essentially this is nonsense. So yeah, these BBC shows are getting awards, it means nothing. So those are my thoughts on Small Axe episode 1 to 4. And also one thing about these episodes, it gives you the impression, yes, it all happened around somewhat well-known personalities or events, but also I would have liked to have seen a bit more diversity in these stories, because here's a fact. Not in the UK, not all black people are Caribbean. Okay? In fact, when I was studying at the University of Leeds and University of Bradford, I could barely remember. Maybe there was like one or two people from the Caribbean. Apart from that, all black people are like, black people. Because they're not African Americans, because they're not in America, so I don't know what to call it. All dark skinned people that I've met. And when I mean dark, African origin people I've met, they're not from the Caribbean. They're mostly from Nigeria, they're from Sudan, they're from South Africa. Hell, I even met African Americans. And at that point, I didn't know why he said that the UK is extremely boring. But once I came to the United States, I'm realizing, he was a basketball player, and he used to live in Louisiana. No, he used to live in Missouri, and he said that he thought Missouri was boring. And when he came to Leeds, he said that, good Lord, Leeds is even more boring. So yeah, the people I haven't met, or I haven't come across, because maybe it's because I was living in the north of England, but people I haven't come across were Caribbean people. On the flip side, in the United States, I've come across a lot of Caribbean people. In fact, they're some of the best people to they're some of the best people to hang out with, and also there's some of them, especially there's one person I know, he's a kid, he's a guy from Jamaica. He's one of the most intelligent people I have met. This is one guy you really want to have an intellectual conversation with. So like I said, there's something lacking in the representation of those four movies. There's something a little bit lacking. It was as if it was the stereotype. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen a bit more diversity. Let's say Africans from East Africa, or from South Africa, okay, from Tanzania, from the Ivory Coast, from Ghana, Niger, and whatnot. These type of people also being at least somewhat shown in these four movies, because a lot of them also were there in the UK at this time. So yeah, apart from that, if you have some time and if you can tolerate very, very bad directing, and by the way, I don't know if Stephen McQueen is his race or whatnot. I just saw if he is white or Asian, or Asian as in, good Lord, even this is different in the UK. In the UK, Asian means people like me. In America, Asian mean people in the Far East. So I don't know about Stephen McQueen's race or ethnicity or background or whatnot. I just saw that name, Stephen McQueen. So if you can tolerate bad directing, okay, bad directing, bad camera angles, okay, and overall very bad or very poor pacing. That's also another issue. Very poor pacing that is ill constructive, that is deconstructive of the storytelling. It takes away from the story, doesn't add into the story. It confuses the viewer. If you can tolerate that, I would suggest watch episodes 1, 3, and 4. I don't know about episode 5, but I watched episodes 1, 3, and 4. Absolutely skip episode 2. Alright, let me know what you think about the Small Axe series on Amazon Prime. Or if you're in the UK or whatnot, I believe it's shown in the BBC as well. Let me know what you thought about episodes 1 to 4 in the comment section below. And as always, hit like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons. And also leave a comment. It's your boy Tanveer Syed, and Tam1 signing out.